Hello, dear friends. There is a crazy amount of news to select them. Opinion piece. End of capitalism, the end of the road. Saxo Bank predictions. The old normal is over. Will oil cost $150 a barrel? Will RFK Jr. win the election? Restrictions on artificial intelligence. Let's start. The end of capitalism and obesity epidemic and an independent president in the US are some predictions from Saxo Bank for 2024. The Danish financial institution predicts that the world is approaching the definitive end of the old normal, where new technologies solve problems but entail possibly more dangerous dilemmas. In addition, the bank also expects Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to win the presidential election, marking the first time in the country's history that an independent candidate was victorious. In quotes, his populist platform against warmongering Democrats and corporate elites resonates with both disaffected traditional Democratic supporters and Trump supporters, the institution details. Other predictions include the fall of Japanese bonds on the world market, the introduction of a luxury tax in the European Union, and the creation of another Club of Rome among countries with monetary deficit, referring to the think tank founded in the Italian capital in 1968, which involved the participation of 100 specialists. New dilemmas. Danish bank Saxo Bank has published a list of predictions for 2024 titled The End of the Road, stating that, in quotes, in 2024, it will become clear that the smooth road is coming to an end, setting the world into a dangerously ascending future. In my opinion, this catastrophic prediction would also affect state capitalism called communism, enemy of freedom. In quotes, our outlandish predictions for 2024 show how the world is approaching the definitive end of the old normal and how new technologies are solving old problems while, while creating new, possibly more dangerous dilemmas, says the financial institution. The bank analysts predict the end of capitalism in the US before the presidential elections. According to the forecast, in quotes, due to persistent inflationary pressures and capital repatriation by foreign investors, demand for treasuries remains weak, causing a rally in treasury bond yields. In an attempt to desperate to normalize borrowing costs, the government makes income from government bonds tax exempt. Close quotes. Some analysts maintain that the end of capitalism refers to a structural transformation in which the fundamental characteristics of the system are overcome. Some perspectives suggest that the end of capitalism would not necessarily imply a collapse, but rather an evolution towards a different economic and social system. This could include transitions toward hybrid forms that incorporate elements of different economic systems. The bank also foresees big changes in the energy market, expecting oil prices to rise to $150 a barrel by mid-year. According to the authors, this growth occurs when the ecological transformation begins to falter in the face of rising costs and after OPEC Plus, led by Saudi Arabia, maintains firm control over supply. Close quotes. World crisis. The second global crisis, according to analysts, will be related to obesity. The forecast indicates the new anti-obesity drugs are considered the solution, but the ease of taking pills is causing people to stop exercising and increase their consumption to junk food. The authors of the text also predict two global crises. The first of them will be related to artificial intelligence. In this sense, they represent a scenario in which an important official from one of the key countries in the world would be discredited with the help of deep fake or deep artificial intelligence. In response, governments would impose severe restrictions on the spread of this technology around the world, which will hit venture capital financing in the high-tech field hard. AI will change everything for better or worse. It can help us address the structural flaws in our economic system, and it can make our economy work for everyone. They also appear to be using AI to control the media and politics for themselves. Sports Illustrated was caught using fake journalists generated by AI who wrote AI generated articles and then got scared and deleted evidence. Reset News. According to Storm Rider, the Pentagon has 9 UFOs in its possession after denying it for years. President Trump denied the existence of UFOs and aliens in June 2017, but he knew too much. Blue sky events are expected to occur during the 24th and 25th years. From ancient times in the Middle East, from the Sumerian gods to the fallen angels of the Bible, everything is connected to the evil power that controls civilizations. Jesus was a real person and understood the spiritual energy that can bend reality and time, which means defeating death. Many of his teachings were hidden. There are now over 20,000 denominations of Christianity, and they are all fighting over who is right and who is wrong. Each believes it to be the only true religion. The Roman Christian was created the first banking systems and massive human trafficking networks. They stole the wealth of the Middle East and stored it in the Vatican. The closer we get to the truth, the more unreal things will become. But there is no other way than to follow a collision course. We are in the storm of truth, and there is incredible technology that is going to change the world. White hats had infiltrated dark side projects since the 70s. Now we will see the sleepers awaken and expose the truth. In the next 4 or 7 months, a faster awakening would take place in more than 100 countries. This storm is a massive global operation. The world's elite hides their money in the mountains of Switzerland. The best is yet to come. Release. According to Puffiness, there are many elements of liberation that are being dispersed and fragmented around the new financial system. This is very intricate, complicated, and important since everything is designed and made bulletproof. There are events underway that are beyond what is yet to know. Something you heard was about to happen, and there is a lot more you don't know. The dollars will still be around for a while, so stop worrying about it. As for the Dragon family's funds, they are still viable despite their disbelief. Puffiness adds, there was a plan for that, but the ancient families were not evaluated or made aware of the many ways their plans and ideas could be overturned, made almost impossible, and all those other thorns in the side they had to endure. Electronic has slowed down their intentions, but it has not annihilated them. Some have died, some have moved on, some await the signs that are yet to come, and some have aged to the point that they no longer hold their own initiative so firmly. The world moves on, and things will unwind and unlock in due time. The tendency of money to grow and go away has not been the problem. Despite all the negativity and all the sarcasms, let the chips fall, drop them in, and watch the water for the next few weeks. This project is not a silly one, but if you keep your head out of the sand, you will know what it is. And that allows many elements to connect when the time is right. It will happen when the time is right, neither before nor after. Breaking news. Gold hit a new high on Sunday night before being slowed again by banks on Monday. Bitcoin also hit a new high on Sunday night, but like gold, it continued to rise on Monday. The attempt to limit Russia's oil revenues fails. Germany suffers the most from frozen relations with Russia. Siberia's temperature reaches 58 degrees below zero in several cities, degrees Celsius. According to Sorchafal, Biden launches a gambit to end the war in Ukraine. The mathematical prophet Kasher estimates that the war in Ukraine will end in 2025. Most EU members opposed Spain's plan to finance Ukraine using frozen Russian assets. Intelligent, intelligence agents are being investigated in Madrid for filtering reserved information for the US. El País reported that two agents have been arrested. Cardinal Miller says mass migration is used to destroy national identity. UNICEF denounces a war against minors in Gaza. Netanyahu tells relatives of kidnapped people that there is no possibility of freeing them all. Turkey leaves NATO after its position on the conflict in the Middle East. According to the X22 report, the Davos plan has failed, and it is time to recover the economy. Poverty in Argentina is close to 45% and affects 17.5 million people. A new civilization down as, as we stand on the precipice of change. Ursula von der Leyen demands trillions for her green agenda at UN Climate Summit. According to Mike Adams, the weather cult is crumbling as the world rejects the energy strangulation. A woman is scared when all her chickens freeze and she thought Jesus was back. The sins of the leaders will fall on the people according to the sins of the leaders will fall on the people according to Josh Eaton. The people of a nation that allows its leaders to be allied with evil will suffer the consequences of the death of innocents. Next water crisis. Davos collaborator Mariana Mazzucato believes that the attempts to extinct the entire planet failed, and that meteorological change is too abstract for people to understand, but that the next water crisis is something that everyone will accept. Close quotes. The supernatural TV show actor who played Crowley the Demon suffers 6 heart attacks, say the doctors who resuscitated him. He should not be It should not be trifled with 13 energies. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.